What if we had freedom, safety, and healing every day in our life? Freedom is about really feeling the spaciousness in your world where you feel safe, even those things that are happening, that life brings you ups and downs, but life is really crazy. But what if you could still have freedom in that? I love having these conversations with these experts that we're bringing in because it's about opening the voice and utilizing tools, utilizing mindset so that you can express how you feel, how you love on people, how you love on yourself, which is so important because the more you love on yourself, the more you feel freedom in your life. What if you have safety in your lifestyle? You just feel like safe no matter where you go. You're feeling like I'm at the right frequency. I'm going to have really nice people around me. The people that aren't involved in knowing what the ups and downs are and what that higher frequency is, they're not going to find me, even if I walk by them. But those people that are really in that high vibe, they're going to be there and we're going to nail it as getting to know each other. But life is different. There's something different about feeling safety in that space. Healing is about your body's going to heal if we can calm the nervous system. Hi, my name is Rhonda Liebig, and I'm the host producer. I created this about 8 years ago of opening voices so we can stop the blaming and shaming within ourselves. And I want that for you also. I want to be able to stop that for myself so I can do that for others, meaning I won't judge as much. And if I love myself more, I won't judge as much. Yeah. So this is Fresh Talks Global Vision. We have a great expert on today. And this is a special series I've been doing. We're on 8 or 9 right now in our series. I think we're 8. And it's about feeling empowered, the empowered feeling. And when you get in alignment with utilizing your voice, all is one. No matter what room you're in, whatever you're doing, when you come from the heart, you will never tell somebody off. You'll never allow somebody to push you down. And if they do, you're in the wrong frequency. So let's talk more about being open about the voice and feeling empowered. That's what we're really talking about. But I want you to get to know Yvette Evans. She calls herself Coach E. I'm already feeling the vibe. For a moment, I'm going to give a proper introduction here. But Coach E, how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, Rhonda. Thank you so much for having me.
And I love your background there. Welcome to the good life. I do feel that, Coach E. I really, really do. There's something about that, that just warms my heart to know that as soon as I meet someone like you, I just feel like, oh my gosh, we're going to be playing today. So let's get into the juicy stuff. So you started your career as a young professional navigating the corporate world and worked 42 years in federal leadership in human resource roles. Coach E knows what it is like to climb the corporate ladder, having retired as a C-suite federal HR executive. After building a successful corporate career, she began as a certified coach with an International Coaching Federation, ICF, and now the founder of Rise Enterprise, RYSE. She partners to keep ambitious women and emerging leaders like you discover your strengths, growing your confidence, and step into your potential to accomplish the goals that reflect your purpose. Her approach is simple but strategic. Built her signature framework of self-awareness, self-affirmation, self-advocacy, self-actualization. She is an ACC certified coach specializing in resilient leadership and LINC, LINC, leadership personality coach. Oh, I love that. I think we need to see ourselves more, huh? Everything you can, just the interface of who they are in that leadership and their personality. I love that. Coach E graduated in 3 years from the UVA, earning a BA degree in psychology. Currently, she is in a Christian. That's all you gave me. She's in the Christian something.
Master's program.
So you're okay. So I love this because you are a person that just keeps learning more and more, and you're going through that process of like, you're never going to stop learning. I feel like I'm in the best place ever because I feel like when you know what your purpose is, you just keep evolving. There's no stopping and you find excitement in it instead of like, oh, I have to keep learning. It's like, oh my gosh. So share with me, my friend, what brings you here today? Like, how did you get into this coaching after you were in corporate? Because I was in corporate and I was doing that for about 5 years, 10 years overall as an accounting CPA. So I have the technical skills and kind of the structure, but I keep getting all woo and relaxed and flow with the technical stuff in the background because this industry is very interesting and being able to tap in and see people. So share more about like you personally.
Thank you, Rhonda, again for having me. I'm excited. Your energy is exuberating across the screen, and I'm feeling it over here as well. It's always good to be in a wonderful atmosphere, and I feel that today. I started very young in my career in human resources, and as I journeyed through that space, I became a manager. And as a manager, I had a heart for my people. There are a lot of managers that don't, they just care about themselves, not their people. And
Yeah.
I was invited to join a coaching program within the federal
Oh,
government.
wow.
Now, mind you, I thought I was coaching my team, but until I went through that training program, I did not really understand what it meant to be a coach.
Yeah.
And having completed that training program, I knew then this was the field for me. Now, of course, I didn't go into it fully while I was still working full time.
Yeah.
I kind of dibbled and dabbed it with some clients here and there. But when I retired in January 2022,
Mm.
I asked myself, Yvette, what do you want to spend your time doing now? And I said to myself, I want to do what I love doing, what I am passionate about. And when I started doing some internal searching, I
Yeah.
discovered coaching was what I was passionate about. And not just coaching, Rhonda, but coaching women,
Mm-hmm.
women who have lost their confidence, who need to gain confidence, women who have these big dreams and ideas but don't know how to accomplish them,
Yeah.
women who have leadership skills but need someone to help them navigate through those challenging spaces that, as you know, um, the corporate world doesn't always um, help us women in that regard.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I decided to create my business, Rise Enterprise, spelled with a Y, my first initial. Uh,
Mhm.
and Rise stands for Reach, Yearn, Soar, and Excel. And those are the tenets of which I build the business on. I'm here to help women reach. I'm here to help them yearn, to soar,
Mm.
and to spread their wings and excel. And if I did it, I know they can do it too.
Yeah, I feel that. And I love the woman love. Like, there's something special about women, and not talking about men. So, this is focus in here is that, man, the more that we love on each other, the more we get to learn more about ourselves, how we naturally are very nurturing once we start breaking those walls. Because to love on other women, it's about the emotional IQ. I think a lot of us are raised where we just don't always know how to interact with other women because supposedly there's only so much room when you're in the corporate space or you're somewhere or you're fighting for this or that. But no, I mean, it's all about being able to see people and who they are and what they're doing and how can you love on them more to build, expand. The stuff that you've been doing,
Mhm.
when you started taking that coaching program and you really started interfacing it in with your people, what is it about that you learned? You said you learned something that this actually you really started understanding the coaching industry. What is it about our voice that you started working with it? You may not even thought about it, but in this angle of helping them really express who they are, be who they are, really come from the heart to be able to feel that they can express to you so they can grow and not try and hide. But what were you learning about the voice and what was happening as you were going and learning and educating yourself about the coaching industry and doing it live, like while you're learning, you get to start interfacing more and more with these people that, that you get to work with.
Yes. So I found out that the voice is there. There is a voice, and you have to mature that voice. You have to bring that voice forward. And in my coaching program, I take women through four tiers, four pillars. And I'll
Mhm.
just briefly speak about the first one. The first one is self-awareness. And in that self-awareness phase, I take women through understanding those inner negative voices
Yeah.
that speak to us. We call them saboteurs.
Mm-hmm.
We do an assessment to really help them understand
Mm.
what are those negative thoughts that are rising up, that are causing them to feel less than they are, to feel like they don't have a voice, to feel like they don't belong at the table. And so we unpack that so that they can understand that those voices are only as loud as you decide to let them become in your ear, right? And
Yeah.
so we walk them through that self-sabotaging process where we help them to be aware of it. Where is it coming from? How deeply rooted is that? And what is the voice that you really want to hear?
Yvette, it was amazing when I started looking at, because I love talking about like and learning about the mind more and more. When we're in this industry for a while, it's like just learning tips and how the brain synapses works and how you can have like this plyo thing where you're just ready to create something new for somebody so they feel that they can really step into something that maybe they've never experienced. They didn't realize that they could actually dream and really see something bigger. And when they start really believing and working through it, especially with somebody like a guide, like a coach, somebody that you are helping them really see what their path is and who they authentically are. That's wonderful. I feel like there's so much empowerment in that also.
Oh,
When you're
yes.
starting to open up their voice, what do you start noticing that where they start feeling more empowered? Like, what does it look like?
It looks like a journey. I tell people it's not an overnight, is a journey. And after we deal with the self awareness, we then take them to self affirmation. This is the next voice. It's affirming yourself, not waiting for someone else to affirm you. So, in that stage, we focus on what are your strengths? What are your values? What are your gifts? And these are the things that we try to move them out of that negative space, that negative thinking, into this positive, affirming voice
Yeah.
and affirming themselves and understanding that there is something about you that differentiates you from anyone else on this planet. No one else has the same fingerprints as you. And there are gifts that God has given you for your voice to be heard. And so we then work in that phase and stay there for a minute.
Ooh, that just sounds so scrumptious. I I can remember looking in the mirror and I was like seventh or eighth grade and I couldn't see myself. Like I could see myself, but
Mm,
I just had these voices that were negative, like you're ugly, you're dumb, like just these things, but I could just feel it. I
yeah.
could react to it, but I didn't know what it was. And then
Mm,
when I started doing this type of work and learning to be calm my nervous system, I started learning that like subconsciously we're listening to about 60,000 words every day. So our subconscious just moves. And so I
mm,
started noticing those are the words that were coming up and I just started like crying, but then I was also yelling at it like I'm not that, but I mean, but I'm reacting and interacting with people with that kind of vibe going on and didn't realize it. I remember somebody saying, Rhonda, if you would have showed up last week the way that you did, I would have paid you $10,000 on the spot right there. And I was like, first dumbfounded and like, what was I doing? And she couldn't answer that. She goes, I don't remember, Rhonda, but I saw you in that space. And so what I took from that is what I believe you're talking about, Yvette, is that we have these lows and we have these highs, and we have many dimensions in who we are. But if you know you're a badass, and and you have somebody by your side to clear those words that can be like, they say 80% negative because it's a fight or flight until you open your heart and you get that coherent space. But there's that space that somebody can hold for you and help you get anchored in and grounded so that you show up in a way that, again, that perhaps you may have seen only a couple times and thought, why was I so special that day? Like I felt like a special person, but you get to live it every day. So when you get somebody in that space, you could even share more about like how you get somebody in that space. Because what I'm saying, I already know, Coach E, that you, with all the experience you have, you're right on board with what I'm saying about like, okay, yeah, I've seen that quite a few times. So when you get somebody in that space, what's the difference that you see from when you first start working with them, just in general? And it could be just showing some low vibe stuff, not really realizing that they're really showing up like something, but you start seeing some shininess going on and they're allowing everybody else around them to shine. So what's that transformation or testimonial or something you just generally see when you're doing your work?
Oh, absolutely. There is something powerful and empowering about believing in yourself, knowing who you are, and knowing what you bring to the table. That's what builds the confidence. What I find is many women want to walk the path that someone else walked. When we find your path, your confidence is ignited. When you find your passion, your purpose, your calling, your gifts, how can you not show up 100 when you've got all of that backing you?
Isn't it crazy, Yvette?
That's what's powerful.
It's so powerful because there's no way they can naysay themselves anymore. Because like they're like, especially when you get somebody that spot, they've already like they can feel it in the heart. And if they're not fully there, they'll kind of like combat it probably like, no, you're just kind of, you're schmoozing me. But so it might take a while for them to actually see what you see.
Yes.
I love that. So opening the voice and feeling empowered. What is your goal out there and what you're doing? It sounds like you're at a really high frequency of what your results are that you really want, maybe in this world or or in your area, or what you do. Like, what's your claim to what you're really doing here? Why has God brought you here on earth?
It is so ironic that you said that. We are on the same wavelength. So I recently put out a book, Rediscover Your Purpose.
Yes.
Real stories, real struggles, and real strategies. How women journey from purposeful pain to a powerful promise.
Ooh.
This is my purpose. My purpose is to get women aligned with their purpose, their God-given purpose, because we all have it. And in this book, I helped women journey through that process. Who is my purpose? What is my purpose? When is my purpose? Where is my purpose? How do I birth my purpose? And why did God keep me here on this earth? This is my calling, is to touch as many women as possible to help them align into this journey towards discovering their purpose. Because you can have a career and not have a purpose. You can have a job and not have a purpose. You can have a marriage and not have a purpose.
And you do need in your marriage a purpose.
You do need it.
Everything, like what you're saying, everything tethers together.
It does.
So I'm always looking at how to rebirth a marriage that, I may be coaching on something else, but I'm like, everything tethers together. You think that's bad? Okay, let's open everything. Not meaning we have to talk about husband and wife stuff, but I feel that you are healing this earth in a way of us women feeling our strength, our space to be able to
Yes.
hold what we actually do immediately with our kids. And sometimes we don't even fully step into that. So I can see how that can strengthen and so on and so on. Like I said, I really feel like I'm here to open up voices. I was on thyroid medicine for 20 years and I've been off for 12, 13,
Wow.
12 or something like that. And the discovery of what I've learned after gaining maybe 60, 80 pounds, I stopped getting on the scale. I was like, oh, you can gain weight that fast. Experience and the joints and the aches and pains. I was just like, sometimes even laughing, going, I just feel more beautiful than ever. And because it taught me to watch and see people's aura and
Yeah.
to be able to know that I'm safe. Even as a health coach, I've been in the health industry for 25 years and
Awesome.
carrying that, like, whoosh, all of a sudden, it's like, I didn't even look like myself, but I was like, there's something I have to lean in about this. I'm learning something.
Yeah.
And people wanted me to be back on medicine. I go, no, because I knew there was a purpose. I'm like, what is happening here? So I feel like you're healing people's bodies
Mm.
by them being able to go down to the cell level, to the cells being able to stop fighting and being able to see and cohesively get rid of themselves when they're like, oh, we don't need you anymore, to all the new stuff that you get. So in conclusion,
Mhm.
what do you think you're doing for, like, that you're helping women? But is there another layer there? I'm talking all this body stuff and all that, but I mean, I know you go to bed just feeling so good about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add in? I love that you got your book. We'll make sure we get the link there. Any
Yeah.
other layer about like what you've been learning about yourself? And I don't know, I just love the space to be able to hear the claims there.
Yeah. I'm learning every day how passionate I am about seeing women build their own legacy.
Mm-hmm.
What you can either let people write your story or you can write your own story.
Yeah.
So why let you put words to describe me when I can describe myself best?
Yeah.
And so by working with women, I'm helping them to determine what that legacy is that they want to leave. What do you want to tell people to say about you when you're gone? And I know people don't like to talk about death, and that's morbid,
I love talking about it.
but it's bigger than the casket. This is
Yeah.
what will live on and be said about you way past the life you live. And
Yeah.
so I believe that God has given me a mandate, a purpose to help women navigate the waters,
Mm-hmm.
navigate the challenges to get to their God given purpose. I was able to do it, and I know they can do it. And that's what I'm here for. And I love every moment. I love those shining moments when women have those ahas and they walk away with that confidence that exudes on
Yeah.
their face, right? As you said, what is that transformation? You can see it.
Yeah.
You're like, Coach E, oh my goodness. Wow. And to see them accomplish their goals and come back and tell me, I did this and I achieved this. That's worth every dime.
It so is. It so is. You know what? I have so many questions for you, so we have to have you back on the show again because I mean, I just want to keep riffing. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I could just keep going on and on and on because you are inspiring me. So I'll make sure that I have the links for your book and
Okay.
how they can connect with you. And we are in the same community when it comes to us being speakers and getting out there and stuff like that. So we'll
Yes.
make sure that we keep connecting. I think there's some partnership that we can do.
I love it.
I love on love.
Unity. And I appreciate this space. Thank you for sharing it with me.
You're welcome. I appreciate the space with you today. That's what we're doing here in Fresh Talks Global Vision. I at some point thought maybe I won't be doing podcasting this long because everybody has a podcast. And then I thought it's not about the numbers because how we build community is based one at a time sometimes. And that's what's so perfect. It's so wonderful that people get to know you and that you're not trying to chase and race and do all these numbers. But it really is, the more that we open our heart, the more that things just it just happens. And so that's what I'm here for. And I love how we were spontaneous about doing this interview. We're like, oh, are we gonna have a talking conversation before we get on there or whatever? And it was like, oh, well, we've both been doing this for a while. Let's just go for it. So I'm very proud of what we pulled out together in experiencing this. So thank you very much.
It's in our heart. When it's in your heart, it flows. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks.
Oh, I love that. I'm going to save it right there.
Yes.
Fresh Talks Global Vision and community that's watching, I appreciate you so much. Remember, we call this hashtag speaker locking arms. Every time you open up your voice, you allow yourself to be able to hear yourself, stop the blaming and shaming within yourself, but it allows you to be feeling safe wherever you go. And I promise you that is actually, that's what Yvette and I were talking about. So Coach E, I was going to call you Dr. E, of the mind, psychology.
Yes.
But I love you. Thank you very much, my friend.
Thank you so much.
All right. Namaste. Amen.